again, everybody. Here's your Paper News 24/7, the video edition for Wednesday, April 9th, 2014. I'm Frank Phillips reporting. New details are emerging about the case of Pedro Sanchez, the Crawfordsville resident who is charged with 2 counts of theft of government funds and has agreed to a plea agreement with the Indiana Attorney General's office. According to information received from Indiana Attorney General Joseph Hogsett's office, between January 2009 and February 2011, Sanchez, quote, did knowingly steal money belonging to the United States and did aid and abet such conduct, namely approximately $1,472,673.62, more or less in federal money, end quote. According to the document giving general allegations, the money was taken by filing false income tax returns and false W-2s. The plea agreement has not yet been accepted by the court. Sanchez was arrested and released, said Tim Horty of the Indiana Attorney General's office. He is scheduled to make an initial court appearance at 1:30 p.m. April 18th before Magistrate Judge Deborah McVicker Lynch in U.S. Federal Court of the Southern District of Indiana to determine how the case should proceed. El Charro is located in the building that previously housed Indiana Printing. When we attempted to interview Sanchez, a woman who introduced herself as Maria Sanchez, sister of Pedro Sanchez, said Pedro had not owned the business for more than 2 years and that she is the current owner. She said Pedro no longer works at the store. Pedro Sanchez lives on Country Club Road. We wanted to speak with him to get his side of the story. When we arrived at the house, we found we were not alone in looking for Sanchez. Montgomery County, my name's Frank Phillips.
Hi.
And you are?
I'm a service prosecutor.
No, I've not. Looks like no one's home. What are you serving papers for, if I might ask?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Okay. What do you do if if no one answers?
I'll just have to come back.
You work out of Indianapolis, or?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say your name was? Roy Bouchon lives across the street from the Sanchez residence. He said he had not seen their pickup truck in the driveway for longer than a week and did not think anyone had been home during that time. Sanchez visited Bouchon after a break-in at the Sanchez house, Bouchon said. Sanchez wanted to know if Bouchon had seen anything, which he had not. They are real nice people, Bouchon said. They keep to themselves, and I've seen Mexicans over there. They seemed real nice, too. Crawfordsville schools hope to add Chinese to their French and Spanish programs next year, said Dr. Kathy Steele, superintendent. As a school board, we realize we have children who will be dealing with China, Steele said. We also have some families who have Chinese children. Steele is speaking with a Chinese woman who has her doctorate in gifted and talented education. If she is hired the first year, she will be involved in school clubs and will teach basic Chinese language and culture. It is expected she will teach 6 to 9 weeks in the middle school and later teach Chinese at Crawfordsville High School. Steele was invited by Glenda Ritz to join other educators on a trip to China last October 9 through 19. Ritz is the Indiana Superintendent of Public Instruction. The trip was organized by the nonprofit Global Indiana, a consortium for international exchange, a group that has provided study trips for educators since 1997, according to a letter sent to Steele by Ritz. After an 18-hour trip from Indianapolis, Steele visited schools in the cities of Shanghai, Huzhou, Hangzhou, and Beijing before returning home. Last week, she shared some of her impressions of the similarities and differences in education in China and the United States. One idea is true in both countries. It's always about the children, Steele said. Steele noticed an emphasis on creativity and individuality. While so many of the things we buy are made in China, the patents are held by companies in the United States. China aspires to design the things we buy, not just manufacture them. There are many differences as well. Classes are very large by American standards. Classes of 40 to 50 students are typical in China, she said. High schools may have as many as 4,000 students. And in rural settings, students and teachers live on the same campus. Students may go home on weekends and on school breaks, much like college students do in the United States. Instead of students going to teachers' rooms in China, the same class stays together for 6th through 8th grade, and the same team of teachers teach them for the first 3 years of middle school. The teachers and the students become like a family. The class picture is posted outside their room, and the class gets to choose their school uniforms. The students learn a lot by rote, Steele said. The teacher will speak, and the class will repeat what the teacher said. China puts much more emphasis on testing than in the United States, which may be surprising to Hoosiers who are still debating about I-step testing. In China, there is much pressure from testing, which leads to student suicides, Steele said. It is common to see netting in the stairwells to prevent students from killing themselves in leaps from one floor to the floor below. Here we use testing to improve instruction, she said. In China, they test to determine type of vocation. There are 3 types of high schools: academic, arts, and vocational high schools. Students are tested in 8th grade to determine what kind of high school they will attend. Near the end of their high school years, they will be tested again to determine what college, if any, they will attend. The test score determines it all. There is no room for interpretation by a teacher who knows a student. Steele told about a student who became ill during the 3 days he was being tested at the end of high school in China. He missed going to the college of his choice by just a few points, and he chose not to go to another college. So he learned more English and was accepted at Wabash College here in Crawfordsville. He then went on to Yale University, but he was not able to attend the college of his choice in China because he was not allowed to retake any of his tests to determine what college he would be invited to attend. Steele said there are too many children in China to provide that kind of individual attention, and if a child fails or drops out of school, that's the end of his formal education. Here we're charged with teaching every child, Steele said. Another difference is that Chinese schools have more than 180 days we are used to in Indiana. Instead of Christmas vacation, breaks are taken over Chinese New Year in October and sometime during the summer. This summer, Emily Race, Amanda Carrington, and Amy Carrington will travel to China to share about Indiana and to learn more about education in China, Steele said. An ordinance that would increase the innkeeper tax was discussed at the Montgomery County Council's regular meeting Tuesday morning at the courthouse. I have no intention of increasing this tax and not having it utilized properly, said John Fry, who is a county councilman and the president of the Convention Visitors Commission. We see an opportunity to utilize these additional dollars to go toward our mission of bringing more visitors and events to our community. The increase would be from 3% to 5%, the maximum percentage allowed under Indiana law. No action was taken Tuesday. Well, that's about it for us. We hope that you'll click around all over our website. There's a lot more information for you here, including that AccuWeather forecast. For the Paper News 24/7, the video edition, I'm Frank Phillips reporting. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:30 on the radio.